Before a child can accept correction, they must first feel connection. When a child feels seen, safe, and emotionally understood, something powerful happens inside their brain. The nervous system settles, the defenses lower, the thinking brain comes back online. And in that state, learning becomes possible. But when correction comes first through anger, shame, impatience, or harsh discipline, the opposite happens. The child doesn't open. They protect. Because to a child's brain, disconnection feels like danger. And here is what most parents were never told. Behavior is communication before it is disobedience. When a child talks back, refuses, cries, or melts down, we often see a rule being broken. But beneath the behavior, there's usually something else. Overwhelm, exhaustion, anxiety, frustration, or a need they don't yet have the language to express. Correction focuses on stopping the behavior. Connection focuses on understanding the message. When we rush to discipline without understanding, we may silence the signal, but we miss the cause. Neuroscience makes this even clearer. The brain does not learn well in fear. When voices rise, when faces harden, when love feels withdrawn, a child's stress response activates. The amygdala, the brain's alarm system, takes over. The body prepares for fight, flight, or freeze. In that state, logical thinking weakens, self-control decreases, memory and problem-solving shut down. That's why repeated scolding often doesn't create lasting change. The child wasn't refusing to learn. Their brain simply wasn't in learning mode. Connection changes the brain state, a calm tone, eye contact, a steady presence. These signals communicate safety, and safety reopens the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for reasoning, empathy, and self-regulation. Once safety returns, correction becomes instruction instead of intimidation. There's something else happening beneath the surface. Connection builds influence. Correction alone builds resistance. When authority is used without relationship, children often comply outwardly but resist inwardly. That resistance may look like arguing, secrecy, passive disobedience, or emotional withdrawal. But when a child feels connected, respected, and valued, they are far more willing to accept limits. The dynamic shifts from me versus you to us versus the problem. Influence rooted in trust lasts far longer than obedience rooted in fear. And perhaps most powerful of all, emotional regulation is contagious. Children do not learn calmness by being told to calm down. They learn it by experiencing calm from the adult in front of them. When a parent corrects while emotionally flooded, they unintentionally teach escalation. But when they pause, breathe, lower their tone, and acknowledge feelings, they model regulation in real time. This process is called co-regulation. Over time, repeated moments of co-regulation become self-regulation. The child internalizes what they experience. Correction without connection may enforce rules. Connection with regulation builds emotional mastery. There is also a relational cost to correction without connection. A child may comply but feel misunderstood. They may follow rules but quietly disconnect. Over time, trust erodes, communication weakens, emotional distance grows. Connection protects the relationship during discipline. Getting to eye level, using their name gently, acknowledging their feelings before addressing the behavior. These small actions communicate, you matter, even when your behavior needs guidance. When dignity remains intact, correction feels like guidance, not rejection. Connection is not permissiveness, it is not softness, it is not abandoning authority. It is what makes discipline effective. Because when a child feels emotionally secure, they are far more willing and neurologically able to change. Correction without connection may stop behavior in the moment. Connection builds character for a lifetime. So the next time behavior rises, pause, connect first, regulate yourself, then guide. Strong connection today becomes inner discipline tomorrow.